This content, including all video, audio, images, text, and metadata, may not be copied, scraped, recorded, reproduced, mined, trained on, analyzed, or used in any dataset, algorithm, model, or derivative work by any entity, whether human, AI, automated system, bot, or other instrumentality, without explicit written consent from the content owner. All rights reserved.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the AI Business Launch Challenge. This is session number 5. We are in week 3. And last week we talked about extensively like creating some MVPs or an MVP that you could do for your business. And that's a lot of stuff to just kind of build out those workflows, keep them simple. Some people talk to me and some of their workflows are really complicated. So I said, why don't you build it out in sections? So build the first part out, get that working, second part, third part. So if you have some workflows that you are having difficulty with or kind of getting it set up, then go ahead and just break it down to smaller tasks. And also some people took some time getting their credentials and so forth set up, like for Google. Sometimes that takes some time, but you can use Airtable or something if you want, which might be a little bit faster just to get a proof of concept going. So today we're talking about the launch strategy and first customer outreach. So let's get going on this one. Move this over here. All right, so this is the most direct path to your first paying customer. There's no funnels or expensive ads, just smart, simple outreach that works. So that's the key. Is I wanted to make this so people didn't have to spend any money to do outreach, just time, pretty much. So if they have time, then if you have time, then you can do this. And of course, we have our AI co-founder with us, and that will help you a lot along the process. So session structure, we got the launch philosophy, so it's about 8 minutes. Why simple beats complex, the demo first approach, and then part 2, 5 free channels. Takes about 15 minutes to prove proven outreach channels that cost $0. And if you use AI, not as much work. And then part 3, your AI co-founder, let AI do the heavy lifting, research, writing, tracking, so forth. And then part 4, the demo prep, like how to prepare to demo it, because you will have to demo it in some fashion to your potential customer. So how to run a killer demo that converts. And then part 5, the action plan. So your 48-hour plan to get 5 demos booked, ideally, someone looking at your product. All right. So the truth about getting your first customer is most people overthink this and do nothing. They think it's so hard. They wait for the perfect website, perfect pitch, perfect everything. And as we've learned in this whole course of things, this challenge, that it's not perfect that we're looking for, it's done. So what doesn't work for beginners? They build a fancy landing page first, which takes forever, or they pay someone to do it, which is worse. They run paid ads, they'll waste money. They create complex email funnels. They're waiting to build your brand. And you might have heard of this, or I've done this myself in the past, posting on social media, hoping people notice. So those are the kind of the ways. It's kind of like set it and forget it, or throw it out there and hope something sticks. And that's not what we don't want that, especially for beginners. What actually works is direct outreach to people who have the exact problem you solve. And we've covered this at the very beginning in week 1, session 1 and 2, which is being able to find a problem that people need solved. That's important. That's it. No tricks, no hacks, just focused, personalized, human-to-human communication. It's very simple, and it's worked forever. So let's talk about the demo first philosophy. So your only goal this week is to get 5 demos booked. That means showing it to somebody. A lot of times people have metrics they set for themselves that aren't important. For example, 5 website visitors. So we don't want that. 5 followers. Don't want that. 5 interested people. We don't want that. We want 5 actual appointments where you show them your working MVP. That is your deliverable. I know it's easy to get distracted by these, like, hey, I get 5 visitors, or I'll get some followers, but that doesn't result in any sales. Demos result in sales. So why do demos work? Seeing is believing. They watch their problem get solved in real time, and that's very important. Immediate feedback, you learn what to improve instantly. So as you're demoing it, they might say, oh, does it do this, or does it interface with this? And you can make notes. Builds trust. So you're not selling vapor, you have something real, not some sort of AI generated screenshot. It's actually working and real. And it forces a decision. They either want it or they don't. So there's no limbo. It's like, here it is. Do you want it or you don't? The magic ratio is 5 demos equals 1 to 2 paying customers. And I'm going to tell you why this is unique here. That's 20 to 40% close rate for a complete beginner showing a working product. Professional salespeople close at 10 to 15%. And you say, well, why is that? Because you're talking to pre-qualified people with the exact problem you solve. That's the key. You're not trying to sell something that they may not need, or it's a nice to have or a possible problem. It's an actual problem they have right now. So what's the easiest way to sell food to somebody is when they're hungry, not when they're hungry. So that's the key. All right, so why simple direct outreach wins? I'm going to tell you why. Complex marketing, don't do this. Build website, 20 hours. SEO optimization, 40 hours, whatever. Content marketing, social media, paid ads. Time to get your first customer could be months. Sometimes people never get a first customer because they take forever. It also requires skills you don't have yet as a beginner. You want to keep it simple. Keep it simple. Make sure your AI co-founder is always helping you keep it simple. If you feel overwhelmed, if you feel like you're not able to do the work or get things done, use your AI co-founder to help break it down, make it simpler. And the direct outreach approach, this is what you should do, is find 20 target people. It takes about 2 hours. Write personalized messages, and it can take less if AI helps you. Send outreach, follow up, and then book demos. So, and that's free, by the way, to book demos. So that doesn't cost you money. Time to your first customer is 1 to 2 weeks, could be less, could be days, depending on the work that you've done ahead of time already in this challenge. So use the skills you already have, talking to people. Everybody knows how to talk to people. So we're into the anti-sales approach. I don't want you to be salesy or trying to push people to do stuff. So good news, you don't need to be salesy. In fact, being salesy will hurt you. Here's what works instead. So traditional sales, you don't want to do this. This is the best solution on the market. You'd be crazy not to buy this. Limited time offer, now act now. Let me tell you about all our features. Pushy, aggressive, focused on closing. That's what you don't want to do. People avoid you. They smell the desperation. That's what we don't want, okay? The problem solver approach is this. I notice you might be dealing with X because you should know this problem. From week 1 in the challenge, session 1 and 2, you should be able to have a good grasp of the problem and the audience. I built something that could help. Want to see it? No pressure, just showing what's possible. Does this solve your problem? If not, what would? Curious, helpful, focused on their needs. So the result is people engage. You're a helpful human, not a salesperson. That's very important. So your mental frame should be, I built something that solves a real problem. I'm looking for 5 people to test it with and give feedback. If it helps them, great. If not, I learn what to improve. So that's kind of your mental framework, is that. So this isn't selling. This is research with an offer attached. Don't forget that. Okay, so let's talk about the 5 free outreach channels that actually work. Every single one of these channels is 100% free and proven to get demos booked, right? So pick 2 to 3 that feel natural to you, especially ones like we talked about that you interact on. Don't try all 5 at once, okay? Don't get overwhelmed. So let's break down each channel with real examples in AI-powered automation so we can give you the prompts and stuff that you need. All right, so channel 1, which we obviously know is where businesses are, and that's LinkedIn. So LinkedIn direct outreach. Now, why it works, LinkedIn is where professionals are expecting business conversations. They're not expecting sales conversations, but they do get them a lot. So remember, we're not salesy. Response rates are 10 to 20 times higher than cold email because it's kind of like it gets to them easier through messaging. So the process that you should follow is search for your target. Use LinkedIn search with job title plus industry filters. And like we said, there'll be some AI that can help you with this. And you can always ask your co-founder, AI co-founder, how to do this. Review their profile. So find something specific to reference, like a recent post, company news, mutual connection, something that's something that's custom, not just like boilerplate or template. Send a connection request with a short, specific note. And that note should be generated by AI so that you can have the best chance of connecting, unless you have a good idea, and then you kind of work with your AI co-founder. Number 4, follow up when accepted. Thank them, mention the problem, offer a demo. And number 5, book the call, use Calendly or Simple. There's also I think, or cal.ai, one of those, cal.com. And that's a pretty good one too. But Calendly does have some free stuff that you can do. And then you should get real numbers, right? So send 20 connection requests. So when you measure it, you'll get a better idea of your response rate. Don't just like throw it out there. Start measuring. So you send 20 connection requests, maybe 12 to 15 accept, 4 to 6 respond, 2 to 3 book a demo, possibly 10 to 15% total conversion rate. So to get 5 demos, send 40 to 50 requests. Takes a little bit of time. Could be more, could be less, but we're shooting for sending out as many connections to get those 5 demos. Channel 2 is Facebook and LinkedIn groups. So these are groups, not one-on-one connections. So for example, groups are pre-qualified audiences who already care about your topic. They want to hear about solutions. So there might be a group about solving realtor problems or solving realtor lead gen or stuff like this. So you want to find those groups. So here's the process. You find 5 to 10 relevant groups. So search your niche group on Facebook, LinkedIn. Join, and you can also filter by groups in those too. You don't have to put group. You could just put, realtor, lead gen, whatever solutions, and use your AI co-founder to help you. But you can search by those groups, and then you join and participate. So comment on 3 to 5 posts before posting. So don't just go in there. You'll see this on School and lots of places. Someone new will join, immediately start spamming everybody with sales stuff. Don't do that. Think of your first strategy is to help first, right? So give is better than receive. So give, and the people you'll learn loyalty and respect, and you can actually contribute to. So really help people. Don't just say, that's nice or thanks for sharing, but really try and engage with that audience. Post value first, like I said. So share a tip, insight related to the problem you solve. So let's kind of direct it into that. So if it's about how hard lead gen is, you can say, here's a couple things that I've learned from my workflow that helps increase engagement or speed things up, or something that you can talk about that you've learned, and even not offer them something paid, just offer them some free advice that you've learned or know about. And then a soft offer and comments. I actually built something for this. Happy to show anyone interested. Keep it light. Don't be like special time offer or this will expire in 10 minutes. Don't do that. Just treat them like you'd want to be treated yourself. Golden rule, right? And number 5, DM interested people. So move to a private conversation to book a demo. That's important. So these are good steps. Some of you may know, some of you may not know. It's a good idea to follow this flow, something to give you structure. So here's some real numbers. If you post in 5 groups with 1,000 members, maybe 50 to 100 see your post. 5 to 10 might engage or comment or like it. 2 to 3 DM you or respond to offer. That's 2 to 5% direct conversion. To get 5 demos, be active in 5 to 10 groups for 1 week. So get involved. And remember, this is for the long haul. This is for your AI business. So make sure you put the effort in. A lot of people try and cut corners or skip things or are lazy. If you don't put the time in, you're not going to get the reward. Just like if you don't go out and plant the seed, it's not going to grow. You got to dig in the dirt. You got to put it in. You got to water it. Same thing for this, is make sure that you put the time in. Make it a long-term thing. So group rules. Many groups ban direct promotion. So that's why you lead with value, helpful comments, and a post, and make the offer subtle or in DMs. Never spam. That's important. I don't want you to be kicked out of a group, right? We want to have good. Anyone who comes from the AI business challenge should be someone that they're like, this is someone that we really want to have in the group. So that's important. So what we want to do is I'm going to go to the next slide. And this is your warm network. This is channel 3. So this is your warm network. People who already know you are 10 times more likely to take a call. Even if they're not your customer, they'll introduce you to someone who is. So remember, these are all free things that we can do. That's why we're covering this. So who's in your network? Like former colleagues, people you worked with. And remember, we talked about early in session 1 is like try and be in a space that you're comfortable with, that you like, or that you're engaged with. And in so doing, you're probably going to be corresponding with people or know people in that space. College school friends who are now working professionals, family and relatives, don't discount them. They know people, right? So make sure that you just put it out there. Ask everybody, hey, I got this idea I'm working on. Anybody have know anybody who might benefit from it? Online acquaintances, people you've interacted with on social media. Like I said, also just in all the channels that you're working with that you're already in. And then professional connections, anyone who you've done business with before, if that's the case. So here's the approach. Make a list of 30 people you know personally, or like casually, like the online acquaintances. Send a personal message. Hey, I built something cool I think could help a specific person, a specific niche or type of business. Do you know anyone who, and then a description of like, here's might solve this problem, who has problems with leads or whatever. And so you can use AI to help write this, which we'll see. And you can, your AI co-founder should be your best friend by now, helping you in the business. And then offer to show them first, even if they're not a customer. Let them see it. Because sometimes people, it might jog some memory, like, hey, this is kind of cool. Actually, can you do this, or does this work for this? Those type of discussions. So always show it when you can, and ask for an intro. Who do you know that deals with this? And make it easy. Just reply with their name, email, and I'll reach out. So real simple. Just I'll handle the heavy lifting if you could just give me a connection. So the real numbers are, if you message 30 warm contacts, maybe 20 to 25 respond because they know who you are. 10 to 15 know someone or want to see it. Even if they don't necessarily aren't in the business, they might want to see it, and that might get their brain going. You never know who they're going to talk to. And then 5 to 8 intros, demo results. And that's 20 to 25%. This is the highest conversion channel just because it's warm. Warm leads, personal acquaintances, warm network. Those are always good. So be thinking of that for one of your channels. And then channel 4 is like Reddit and industry forums. And this is, a lot of times people don't think about industry forums as much, but like, for example, you're looking for plumbers. Find out where those forums are. Find out what magazines and publications and websites that are really targeting that audience. So why does it work? Reddit and forums are where people actively complain about problems. And they also actively are looking for solutions or listening to things related to their market. You're literally finding people saying, I wish there was a solution for X. So here's the process. Number 1, find relevant subreddits and forums. So search for your niche. Real estate. Remember, we can use our AI co-founder to do this. Set up keyword alerts. Use tools like F5 bot to get notified when keywords appear. This is cool. Any type of scrapers or things, if you can find a channel that you want to monitor and then be notified if keywords pop up. Like, for example, lead gen, or following up with old leads, something like that you're addressing with your business. Number 3, participate authentically, answer questions, be helpful for 1 to 2 weeks first. And this is important for Reddit especially, but any forum. So much spam these days, so many bots. They want to see you're human, and they want to see that you're helpful. So give more than you receive, and you'll win. And offer to demo in the like DM, which is direct message. Happy to show you, no strings attached. Demos. So free tools to monitor. You can use F5 bot. There's all kinds of other tools out there. Google Alerts is great. That'll help you alert to certain like keyword topics and things that are happening. Reddit search and sort by new in your niche and daily, so you can see the newest posts. And then forum subscriptions. Get email digest from industry forums. And this is good because sometimes even looking at people who are in those forums advertising helps you understand what type of market they're going, and maybe you can help those who are even advertising to that audience, and maybe a partnership. So set these up once, check daily for 15 minutes. Don't spend a ton of time on this. Everybody else spends way too much time doing things. Set it up, get it going, get a system automated, and then monitor. And like I said, Reddit rules. Don't post, I have a solution, immediately. Reddit does not like blatant self-promotion, and you'll find this if you try and do it. Be helpful, build karma, which is what they have on Reddit, and then subtly mention your tool when relevant, or like, just through sharing. If you share within your niche. So if you're, here's some ideas that have helped me with lead gen, or here's some things that help my customers that might help you, and things like that will help share knowledge. Remember, giving is better than receiving, and that will be useful. Okay, channel 5, cold email, if it's done right, because cold email is pretty tough. So why it works when it's done right: email is direct, async, which means you don't have to wait for a call, or people can handle it at any time, and professional. Lower response rate than other channels, but scales easily once you have a template that works. So if you find cold email that works, then you can definitely double down on that and scale it up. So for the process of cold email, find target emails, LinkedIn, company website. Hunter.io is cool. Clearbit, they're pretty cool if you want to use some tools. Research each person. So spend 2 to 3 minutes on their LinkedIn company site, and maybe have your AI co-founder help you with this part. Write personal opener. Reference something specific, a recent post, company news, mutual connection. Like we said, you want to tie it into something that like makes sense, that is tied to something that they're passionate about, or something that they've mentioned recently, or a problem that they're experiencing. And then a short value prop, 2 to 3 sentences max on what you solve. Keep it short, and then a clear call to action. Sometimes people don't have a call to action. They just go, thanks. So you might want to say, want to see a 5-minute demo? And they keep it short. Follow up 3 days later. If no response, send a friendly bump. Bump is kind of what you call when you move it to the top. So here's like an email structure that works that you could use as an example. AI can definitely help you with this. The subject, quick question about their specific problem. Hi, their name, specific personal reference, 1 sentence, or maybe something that they've mentioned recently. Call out their problem, 1 sentence. Your solution in plain language, 1 to 2 sentences. Want to see a quick demo? Takes 5 minutes. Your name, what you built. Let's keep it simple. 5 to 6 sentences total, no fluff. So if you send 50 personalized cold emails, 20 to 30 might open them. That's if it's a really good email. I would say maybe 5 or 10. It depends on how targeted it is. Like if you're in a really good niche or a forum, they might be more interested in what you're offering. So not like a blast email to lots of people, but a very specific niche, which you should understand by now. 3 to 5 might respond, 1 to 2 might book a demo. To get 5 demos, you might send 150, 200 emails, you might send 1,000 emails. But this is like lower in the channels. You should go for warm leads and Reddit and so forth sooner, I think. So let's let AI do the heavy lifting for us, which should be our constant reminder. Stop writing everything from scratch. AI can research prospects, write personalized messages, track outreach, and even help you practice your demo, which is pretty cool. You're going to love that part. So the next 10 slides are just copy and paste these prompts. So as you see them, this is available at aititus.com/100K. It's free, and you can get to this presentation there. So there's the AI prospect research agent. There's the AI outreach message generator for any channel that you're working with. The AI outreach tracker and follow-up manager, which is very important, and we haven't covered that yet. An AI demo coach and objection handler. This is going to help you when you're working with people through email or on the phone, trying to sell your business. And a AI pricing and negotiation guide. Each prompt is designed to work with ChatGPT, Claude, or Perplexity, so you can paste them in. I prefer ChatGPT and Claude. Perplexity is pretty good also for having access to more online information, so maybe you do that for your research, but then maybe you use Claude to do your writing. So that's something to think about. All right, AI prompt number 1, deep prospect research. So you use this to find 20 perfect targets with contact info and personalization hooks. We covered this a bit of time in earlier sessions, but this is kind of a little bit more advanced and in detail. So you just talk about what you are. You always want to say what you are, what your agenda is. I need you to find 20 perfect potential customers for my business and give me everything I need to reach out to them. And then you would talk about your business here. And then you talk about the task. You talk about what you need specifically in the task, like the name, the job title, why they're perfect. You always want AI to describe to you why they selected them. And then the contact method, like is it LinkedIn, is it an email, so forth. And then personalization hook, like something specific to like a nice hook that will capture their attention. And then a source to the link, like a source, maybe their emails on a site, or maybe their contact details or on LinkedIn or somewhere. So that's where you want to get that. And then where to search, you're listing, here's where to search. I'm giving you areas to search, so fill that in. And then prioritize people who are actively posting about related problems. That's important, because the better the connection is to the problem, the better that, and the more like serious the problem is, the more people are desperately looking for that solution, the easier your email or your communication will resonate with them, because it's a very painful thing. Like people don't look for a doctor for a cut until they get a cut, or maybe they got a broken arm, right? You're not researching broken arms until you got a broken arm. Then it's really serious. So you want to get the problem as soon as people are encountering it and needing to solve it. All right, output format, create a spreadsheet ready table. So it's going to create something like this, a nice little spreadsheet, which is cool about AI. After the table, rank the top 5 warmest leads, most likely to respond based on your research. This is very important. Make these real people I can contact today, not generic profiles. That's very important, because sometimes AI likes to make things up. So this can save you like 4 to 5 hours of manual research. This could take minutes with AI. Copy the output into Google Sheet and you're ready to start outreach. So that's your first prompt that's important, is the deep prospect research prompt. Let's go to the next one. This one is the LinkedIn message generator. Or if you want, you can optimize it for any other way that you're messaging somebody. It doesn't have to just be LinkedIn. It could be Reddit or whatever. So generate personalized LinkedIn connection requests and follow-up messages. So if you're going to be doing a connection request, you don't just want to hit add friend. You want to be able to put in there, because you can put a message in when you connect people, and you can put that message in there. So you are my LinkedIn outreach writer. I need personalized connection requests and follow-up messages that get responses, because follow-ups are important. So you just talk about your business, you talk about the target prospect and their info, and then write 2 messages. So one, a connection request note. This is one where when you're trying to connect with somebody you might not be connected with. And then a follow-up message, and this is after they accept you. So if someone is, you do a friend request, they accept you, then you could do this follow-up one. Talk about tone, what you want. Maybe you want it not corporate, you want not salesy. Just talk about the tone that you'd like to have. Maybe you're funny and you want to have a little bit of wittiness in there. It's up to you. And then avoid generic templates like I came across your profile and things like that. So that's important. And yep, okay. And don't do long paragraphs either, because people are on a hurry and they want to read quick. So run this prompt for each of your 20 targets. Take 2 minutes per person, so 40-minute total, instead of 3 hours writing from scratch, which would take a long time. So that is our LinkedIn message generator. That's when you're trying to connect with somebody on LinkedIn with the strategy. This is our cold email generator, AI prompt. You can copy this directly. So create short, personalized cold emails that get opened and responded to. So you're my cold email copywriter specializing in high response B2B outreach. Now, if you're going to B2C, which you may or may not be doing, you could just change that to B2C, this is business to business. There's B2C as business to consumer. So business to business is like Microsoft selling Word to a business, and B2C is like you selling your like pizza to the general population. So my business, and what like when we talk about our business, we talk about our prospect, which we have. Write 3 things. So subject line. So 3 options, right? So under 50 characters, piques curiosity without being clickbait. You don't want clickbait. References their specific situation or problem, not generic. Quick question or touching base. You'll see this all the time. I'm sure all of you have got these emails that are generic. And then an email body. So come up with an email body. So it's saying we want to have 3 options in there for you to choose from. Always when you're coming up with headlines and titles, whether it's a YouTube video or a blog post or whatever, try and come up with a whole bunch of titles for you so that you can kind of pick and choose. Don't just pick the first one. Like look through them, see which one you like the best. And then the email body. So 5 to 6 sentences. Line 1, reference a particular problem, explain the solution, simple CTA, no fluff, right? And then a follow-up email. This is important. So you want to have a follow-up email generated. It's doing this all for you in one prompt. So if there's no response after 3 days, then you would respond in this way, right? And this is kind of what AI will do for you. And then just to address your tone and what's important. So make it scannable, short sentences and line breaks. So it's not just about the content, but it's how it looks. Like, does it look hard to read? Does it look like something that you're like, I don't want to read this whole thing. It's just too much. So make it, the AI will actually make this more visible and easier to scan. No attachments or links mentioned. So don't attach those things. Like I said, that'll trigger spam filters a lot of times. And one clear next step only. So don't say, can you make sure that you check out our demo and then email me and then go to our website and then follow us on YouTube. Don't want to do any of that. Just one call to action, which would probably be look at a demo, take out the demo, or give me a call. Let me show you a demo. And then it says generate all 3 pieces now. So we get that going. AI can generate 20 personalized email in 10 minutes probably. You just need to add the personalization hooks from your research. So remember, your research is important. Don't let AI do anything without your specific input, your specific knowledge that you've gained over these past couple weeks. All right, AI prompt number 4, a group and forum post generator. So create a value first post that attracts your target customer organically. So you're a social media group marketing expert specializing in authentic value first community engagement. It's very important how you phrase this prompt a lot of times, especially if it's not a thinking LLM. Like, for example, GPT 4.1 is not a thinking LLM. GPT 5 is. So it is, if it's good to like frame it in its head, this is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to be. You want to create value first, right? And community engagement. So these are really important things to use. So talk about your business, the group context, like what is it? What are the rules? Are there any rules? It's very important to paste those in. And the group vibe, like how do they feel? And if you don't know what that is, You can ask ChatGPT or your AI co-founder, how do I find the vibe of the group? You might say, well, copy some posts, copy some comments, give me some more information. So remember, always use your AI co-founder. And then you want 3 pieces. You want your value post, which is you want to lead with helpfulness. So I won't go through all of this, but you can, because you can read it, copy and paste it. A comment response. So when someone engages, like some sort of comment that you should respond with, and then a direct reply to a pain point. So for when you see someone post about the exact problem you solve, this is another prompt that you can do. Now, the reason we're doing this all in one instead of multiples is because it'll have the same frame of thought when it's generating this content. It'll be congruous. It'll work together so that, instead of saying generate this at different times, generate all at once, and you have a nice flow of how things work. And then you have your tone and avoid spammy, of course, and all that. Generate the piece of content. Always follow group rules. That's why we paste them in the prompt. You want to follow those group rules. If self-promotion is banned, keep your offer in DMs only. Okay, this is important. So until someone direct message you or you contact them, don't do self-promotion if it's banned. And remember, you're not self-promoting, you're problem-solving promoting. So you're solving the problem. Value first, selling second. I can't stress that enough. It's the same idea of it's better to give than receive. So value first. And a lot of people don't do this. They don't take the time for this. And that's not building a lasting business or relationship. That's building one-offs if they're lucky. And it's just not the way to go. AI prompt number 5 is the warm network message generator. So we talked about the warm network. Those are people that you know. Personal messages for people you know, asking for intros and demos. So you're helping me craft personal outreach messages to my warm network for my new business. That's important that you phrase it that way. So you talk about your business. You talk about a person I'm messaging, like their name. You would have had this information already. The relationship, which is important. Last interaction, like what did you do? When did you talk to them? When was the last time you talked to them? And why are you messaging them? Okay, that's important. So then you're going to craft a couple messages. One, if they are a potential customer, that's a certain type of message that you're going to build together. And then 2, if they might know customers, so you're asking for an intro. So that's the other one. So there's either people who are a potential customer or those who might know potential customers. Set your tone. Avoid being too formal because you know each other. So you tell the AI, make sure you don't be too formal. Unless if it's a formal relationship, of course, you can change it. Your long explanations of your business, you want to keep it short, okay? If people want more information, they'll ask. Multiple asks in one message like we talked about. Remember, a warm network is your highest response rate. So start here before cold outreach. AI makes it natural and non-awkward, which is awesome. Helps you write it really well. AI prompt number 6, outreach tracking system. Okay, this is important. So focus on this. Let AI create a simple tracking system and manage your follow-ups. This is important just because you want to track. If you don't track it, you don't learn, you don't know, you can't estimate, you can't do anything. So you got to track it. So you are my outreach manager. Help me set up a simple tracking system and tell me exactly who to follow up with each day. So set up first, one time. All right, so we're going to set that up. This is the first time it's going to get set up. So create a simple Google Sheet with this type of template, and then explain how to use this sheet in simple terms, which is very important. See, remember, it's our AI co-founder. If you don't know it, ask your co-founder. And then your daily follow-up manager. So this is someone who's going to be following up with you daily. Based on typical response patterns, tell me who to follow up with today. Like day 3, first follow-up for no response. Day 7, follow-up for no response. Day 14, final follow-up before archiving. So you're going to learn a little bit later that follow-up is critical. In fact, follow-up usually does the sales, not the initial call. So number 2, what to say in each follow-up. So follow-up number message. Here's what I should say. Follow-up number 2 message. Follow-up number 3 message. When to stop following up. Clear criteria for moving on. How to mark as closed without burning bridges. Okay, that's important. And then response handler. When someone responds, tell me what their response type means, exactly what to replay. This is like an agent who will help you through this process of tracking, outreach tracking system. So this prompt is the outreach tracking system. And so you can kind of keep that same thread going that you want as you're talking. Create a simple weekly dashboard if you wanted to do that. And you could use vibe coding to do this if that's something you want to do. Don't spend too much time on this. Keep it text-based and simple, maybe a spreadsheet, okay? Let's see, free tools to use. You can use Google Sheets, Calendly, Gmail, Outlook. There's a couple tools that you can use for this one. All right, a demo script and objection handle. This is very important. practice your demo with AI and get responses to every objection. So before you actually get out there and are trying to sell something, maybe you go through and test it with your AI co-founder, and it can pretend to be a potential client and give you feedback, give you rejections. So here we have, let's see here. You are my demo coach, right? So help me prepare a killer demo that actually converts. Let's talk about your business, create my demo script. So here's a demo script, common objections and responses. Prepare me for these objections. I'll definitely hear. This is interesting, but we're busy right now. How much does it cost? If you haven't shown pricing yet, I need to think about it, talk to my team. These are all objections, and you can come up with other common objections. And then there's a practice mode. So get all those common objection information, the empathetic acknowledgement, the response that addresses their real concern. All these things are really good to have when you're going to be pushing out a product. Practice mode. So also act as the prospect. I'll practice my demo on you, respond realistically. This is really good. Make sure you go through this, especially if you're nervous or worried about talking to someone. If you go through this a lot of times, it's going to give you confidence and help you feel more comfortable, especially when these questions or like pushbacks or rejections come through. And it says, make me demo ready in 1 session. All right, so practice your demo 2 to 3 times with AI before the real thing. It's like having a free sales coach, which is awesome. A lot of people don't do this, and it's very important that you do this to practice. All right, here's a pricing and negotiation helper. Get confident about your pricing and handle price objections like a pro. So you are my pricing and negotiation coach. Help me handle pricing conversations with confidence. So here's your service. Help me with pricing confidence. Calculate the ROI to help me justify my price. So you're describing all of what your business is, and AI can help you with this. When to mention price. Like, should I mention it early in the demo, end of the demo, only if they ask? This is very good to help you out. The exact words to use when introducing price, and how to frame it as an investment, not a cost. Or in this case, it would also be a solution to a problem. And then here's some price objection responses. For each objection, give me the response. That's too expensive. And then we'll give you some response that reframes value. Questions to uncover real concern. When to offer discount versus stand firm. So these are some example questions. And then the first customer pricing strategy. Advise me on launch pricing for first 5 customers. Discounted with a question mark, because you might not have to do this, especially if you have a solution to a problem that you've found in a niche that not a lot of people are solving, or the solutions are very bad. What to offer in exchange for a discount, testimonial, case study, so forth. And then when to raise prices to the full rate. And then how to announce price increases to early customers. All this is very useful. And then payment terms, like help me decide the payment terms. So for the first 5 customers, I advise offering 50% off for the first 3 months in exchange for, if you can get them all, video testimonial, 2 referrals, and feedback on your service. Now that's ideal if you get all that ahead of time. This isn't discounting, it's strategic early customer acquisition. So remember that. It's not discount, it's customer acquisition, which is a little different. The idea of discounting should never be in your head. You should never be discounting. You should be exchanging. So 50% off is an exchange for video testimonial, referrals, and feedback on your service. All right, post-demo follow-up message. This is critical. If you've got a demo, don't think it's going to close, right? So what to send after the demo to close the deal. So you are a post-demo follow-up specialist. Help me craft messages that convert demos into customers. So you put your demo context, like what happened, what'd you do? And by the way, you could use, if you do this through like Google Video, Google Chat, whatever, any type of thing where you might try and record it, or get the transcript from it, use a note taker, something like that to have that information so that you can paste this in for the demo context, which is awesome. Create follow-up messages for 3 scenarios. So number 1, they seemed excited, ready to buy. They had a lot of energy, right? So then I want you to follow these steps. And then what about if they are interested but want to think about it? Like that was kind of how the demo ended. Then this would be how you should frame, and AI can help you write this part for following up. And then they went silent. So no response after the demo. You didn't hear from them. So this is important that you would use maybe this follow-up message. Also provide deal closer elements to include, like social proof. If you have any early customers, that's why you want to get those testimonials. Urgency without being pushy. Onboarding 2 more clients this week. Only say it if it's true, because people lie about this all the time. Every easy first step. Just reply yes, and I'll send payment link. Like, make it easy. Maybe it just should be simple. And then risk reversal, money back guarantee, free first month, etc. There's ways to do this, and AI can help you work with that. When to give up. This is important to know too. So clear signs they're not interested, which will be very clear. You'll know what they are. They'll be like, don't email me about this. I don't want to, I don't want this, so forth and so on. How many follow-ups before moving on? And how to close the loop professionally. Because you want to do a demo, but you don't want to lose the potential of the future. So keep it open-ended. Say, listen, if you ever have a need for this, let me know. Or if you know somebody else that could really benefit from this, let me know. You can always ask those type of things. Don't close this opportunity. Just keep it open, but keep it professional, and make sure that they feel like it wasn't a waste of their time. The fortune is in the follow-ups, and I want you to remember that phrase. The fortune is in the follow-ups. Most beginners give up after the demo. They're like, oh, it didn't work. This is when you actually close deals, is when you follow up. So this is very important. The objection breaker. So a lot of times you'll have objections on the call or in an email. Use this real time when you get a tough objection you don't know how to handle. And especially this is good on a live chat, whether it's a phone call or in a chat message or something like this. So you are a real-time sales objection coach. I'm in a conversation right now and need help handling an objection. So you do the context of the conversation, which you can just copy and paste if it's text. If not, then you could just type the explanation out. A little bit, like say we're talking about pricing, they have a problem. And then the objection they gave. Now, I would recommend that you, in this context, have something that AI generates for you to say, I'm going to insert this as context into my real-time sales objection coach so that it can use this, because you might need context about pricing or what you offer, or if you're going to offer some sort of discount in exchange for, some sort of, let's say they're going to have a commitment level, or they're going to do a referral or something. So make sure you have that ready to handy and you paste it in so you have the context of what, so that this objection breaker knows what it's talking about. So paste in that context. So here's the objection that they gave. Help me respond. Give me 3 things. What's the objection really means? That's very cool, because sometimes they may object, but they don't really mean it. So maybe decode their actual concern. Is it price, trust, urgency, authority, etc.? And then, is this a real blocker, or are they just thinking out loud? This is good stuff to have. Number 2, 3 possible responses, and rank them. So here's how I should respond: best, middle, backup, and explain why each might work. And follow-up question to ask after my response. Like, what question keeps the conversation moving forward? Because you don't want to just end it. You want to respond, and then you want to be able to ask more questions, maybe move things forward in a positive. Don't let silence hang. Keep momentum. Also, is this objection addressable right now, or do they need time? So that's important to know. And then, should I push forward or give them space? See, this is all stuff that master salespeople already have in their heads, and they kind of sense these things through conversations that you're going to have with this master sales objection handler for you, which is pretty cool. And then red flags that they're not actually not a good fit. Maybe they're like, well, this lead gen thing, we're not doing real estate anymore. We're getting more into something else. Now, you never know. Do the discussion, use your AI objection handler to maybe propose this solution to help them in something related to that new business that they're doing. Hopefully you've qualified these people so that they're within the right niche and have the same problem. And it says, I need this answer in 30 seconds. I'm live in the conversation. So here's how to use it. So number 1, you'll open ChatGPT Claude on your phone or a second screen before every demo. That's if you're on another screen with the potential customer. When they give you an objection you don't know how to handle, just say, great question. Give me 1 sec to pull up some specifics. That's when you can use that as your time to look things up. So paste the objection into AI, get response in 10 seconds usually. Use the best response AI gave you. Sounds natural because you're not making it up on the spot. Like if you're stumbling over your words, you're like, I don't know, you're talking like this that doesn't exude confidence. So say, give me a sec, let me just pull up some details here, some specifics. You put this in, and then you can respond with a very clear professional response that is really good. Okay, here's the 5-day outreach formula, and you can do it less if you want. This is just based on a certain number of hours that you can spend. So this is your exact 5-day plan to get 5 demos booked. It can be shorter if you have more time. So day 1, research and setup, 2 to 3 hours. So use prompt number 1 to find 20 perfect targets. Set up your tracking sheet. That's in prompt number 6. Create your free Calendly account for booking, some way for them, and you might find other ways. You can do this through Google, by the way. Google Calendar has things just like Calendly that you can use if you want. And then prepare a demo environment. So get your demo ready. Get ready to show this off. You probably have already done this through the MVP phase. Number 2, warm network blitz, 1 to 2 hours. List 20, 30 people you know personally. Use AI prompt number 5 to craft a message. Send 20 messages to warm contacts. And then get 2 to 3 demos from the network if you can. Even if it's just showing how, maybe they're not going to buy, but they just are interested. Every demo is an opportunity to sell something, if not to them, but to someone they know. Maybe we'll say is an opportunity to help somebody, not sell somebody. So day 3 through 4, multi-channel outreach. That's what we talked about, like through LinkedIn, email, groups, Reddit. These are the prompts that you can use and so forth. And then day 5, follow-ups and demo prep. So you need to make sure that you're following up, right? So follow up with non-responders from day 2 to 3. Respond to anyone who replied. Practice a demo with AI just in case you got some demos coming. And then confirm all book demos. Make sure you confirm. So total times 8 to 10 hours over 5 days. So you could compact that, but you do want to leave at least a day or two between follow-ups, right? You don't want to follow up an hour later. Probably want to follow up the next day, depending on the person that you're connecting with. Expect results. So 5 to 7 demos booked by the end of the week. Should be able to get that if you've done your homework right and if you've used AI as your co-founder. I know your numbers. This is important. Why tracking matters. So we're tracking stuff. You need to know what's working so you can do more of it. Simple tracking equals better decisions. And I would say apply this principle to life with anything you do. The more, if you're going to lose weight or you're going to like go on a diet or you're going to exercise, it's good to track, right? Track your weight and then track how it goes, or track the food or calories they're eating. Tracking gives you information. Information lets you make decisions. So what to track daily? Outreach sent. How many messages, requests per channel? Like how many you send? Reward yourself. If you hit your target, say, I'm going to do something special. I'm going to get something. I'm going to, watch a show, or I'm going to go hang out with friends or something. Just to have some sort of reward if you want. A response rate. Who replied? So you want 20 to 30%, warm 5 to 10% for cold. Okay, so just track that. Like, did people respond? What's the response rate? Demos booked. Like, did you book demos? Demos completed. The ones that actually showed up. And then the closed deals, money in hand. That means you have the money. Now, a closed deal is not, yeah, I'm going to do this. The closed deal is payment. So here's your target conversion rates. Your warm network, 30 messages, maybe 8 to 10 demos, that not necessarily to potential customers, but people might just be interested in what you're doing because they're your warm network. LinkedIn, 50 requests, maybe 5 to 7 demos, possibly. Cold email, 100 emails, 2 to 4 demos, and then group forums, 5 posts, 2 to 3 demos, possibly. So if your numbers are off, here's the thing. You have a low response rate. Your messages aren't personalized enough. So use more specific hooks. Let AI know what you've done and say, it doesn't seem to be working. How can we adapt it? Good responses, but no bookings. That means they're responding, but maybe your call to action is unclear. Just ask, want to see a quick demo. So sometimes you might get good responses, but no one's really going to the next step and not booking. So you want to do a good call to action. Demos booked, but they don't show. And this can happen a lot, right? So send a reminder 24 hours before and confirm their time zone, confirm something with them, okay? So if you can send it before, it's important to follow up to make sure they're ready for the meeting. Demos happen, but no sales. So that happens also. Your demo isn't showing clear value, revisit demo script. Okay, so that's important. If you're not closing, you're on a demo, but it's not closing, it's either the wrong customer, which you probably already should have, but also it could be that your demo is not so good. Like, it's really not conveying what it needs to. So 5 mistakes that kill your outreach. Number 1, being too generic. So here's bad. Hi, I have an AI solution that can help your business. You probably see this all the time. If you're in any communities, you're going to see this. Good. Hi, Sarah. So there's the name of a person. Saw your post about spending 6 hours a week on meeting notes. Remember we did the meeting note build last week. Built something that could cut that 20 minutes. Want to see it? Very simple, but it has a name of a person, has a specific that I'm engaged in something you're doing, and it has a problem they really have and that you could solve. Always reference something specific about them or their search situation, like I said. Number 2, explaining too much. This is definitely a big problem. So Bad. Our platform uses advanced AI algorithms to analyze your data and create actionable insights through a proprietary machine learning model. You're just going to put people to sleep. So it's better to say it pulls your meeting records and writes up action items automatically. Something very simple, plain English. AI can help you do that. AI, you can paste this in if you want to say this and say this simple for a potential customer that won't lose them or cause them to fall asleep. So talk like a human, not a brochure. Plain language wins, especially like 6th grade or 8th grade English level is good. Mistake number 3, asking for too much. So bad. Can we schedule a 45-minute call to discuss your needs and see if we're a fit? I mean, that's way too long, right? They may not even know you. This might work for someone who you talk to and have a rapport with, but want to see a 5-minute demo? That's important because 5 minutes can turn into 45, but 45 is a huge commitment ahead of time. So sometimes you can do a 5-minute demo and they're like, well, let's keep talking. And the demo just keeps moving forward. So you could turn that 5 into 45, but that's 45 requested minutes, not scheduled minutes, which is important. So the fix is lower the barrier to entry. 5 to 10 minutes is not a big ask for a lot of people. And sometimes you might even be able to show a video or something before the meeting or whatever, if you want to try and like give them some more information if 5 minutes is a big ask. Mistake number 4, giving up after one try. This is probably the biggest mistake. So most people don't respond to their first message. They're busy. They're not rude. So if you send that first one off, follow up 3 days later with a friendly bump. And that's already built in with this AI co-founders prompts that you have. Then once more after a week, and then 3 touches total before moving on. So don't give up. Don't give up. Mistake number 5, not tracking anything. That's a huge mistake. So if you don't track who you messaged and when, you'll never know what's working. So use prompt 6 to set up a simple tracking sheet, 5 minutes per day to update. Track. If you don't track, if you don't measure, you don't have a clue what's going on. So make sure that you're measuring and tracking. How to run a demo that converts. So let's say you get to the point where you're going to be showing a demo. So before the demo, 10-minute prep. Right? You want to make sure prep. Now don't rush into a demo. Don't just 1 minute before go into the demo. So review their profile and company, know their situation, because this will give you kind of more rapport and connection with them. Have your end-to-end workflow ready to run live, so you can show things working. Even if they don't see the workflow working, they'll see the result of the workflow. Prepare a sample data that mirrors their use case. This is critical. If it's I'm going to use pizza again. If it's a pizza shop and you're selling them something, you're not going to want to use like a clothing shop. You want to try and use data that's very specific and targets to what their problem is for their particular niche. And then test your screen share audio. This is critical. Like a lot of times people create a demo, then they're getting all the technical stuff set up. It's not working. They haven't prepared ahead of time to look bad. So set a timer, 6 to 10 minutes max. Like keep it, even if you promise 5 and they want to go longer, up to them, read it, but have that 10-minute max timer. Like, I know I said 5, we've gone over 5. How about we just get you to the next step or whatever you want to do? Like just give them that respect of their time. So demo structure. So this should be gold for y'all. This should hopefully help you. This is like having a sales team with you already. So I hope this really helps. Number 1, opening is about 1 minute. Before I show you, tell me, how are you currently handling X? If you haven't found that information specific to your solution. Set up context. So you're spending X hours doing Y. Here's what changes, right? So you want to let them know you're spending an hour doing this, right? You're doing this thing for an hour. Then the solution, which is about 5 minutes. Walk through your workflow step by step with their data if possible. So it doesn't have to be the workflow, it could just be the solution. Like here. So let's just say you had a meeting, paste it in here, put the people who are attending, hit the submit button, and here's what happens in the email. See that? Well, how long would that have taken you if you had to do that manually? For example, the summarizer of a meeting that we did last week. That would be selling that. That's what we would do. Show the output. Like I said, here's what you'd get automatically. So how long would that take? And then ask the question, does that solve your problem? That's it. That's your demo. 10 minutes, 5 minutes. You can do it in 5, but we're going to do 10. It's up to you. During the demo, pause often. Make sense so far. Like don't just rush through, right? It's not a monologue. Use their words. Reference what they told you earlier. Show, don't tell. Run it live. Don't just talk about it. the proof is in the pudding, right? Show it working. Get to showing it working right away. Don't talk about the features and all these things. Show it working. Focus on outcome. So like I said, not features, the result they get. And let them drive. If they want to see something specific, show it. Especially if you can do like a front end for your workflow and say, hey, go to this site, this, because you can give a URL to what you have and say, go ahead and try it yourself. And then it'll run and email them, which is awesome because you can put a little signature in there about your product and they'll have it in their email. So don't monologue. That means don't just talk without. A dialogue is between two people. Monologue is just you talking. So this isn't a presentation. Remember that. It's a conversation. The best demos feel like helping a friend, not like selling to his prospect. You probably have all been sold to, and it's just not a good thing. So make sure it's more like helping a friend. All right, the last 2 minutes of your demo, this is where deals are won or lost. So don't just end with, cool, thanks for your time. You need to move them to the next step. So here's some simple close, and you can actually have AI on live with you to say, how do I close this one? It's pretty cool. So you would say, so does this solve the problem for you? And then they might say, yep, something. Yeah, maybe it looks like it. Or yeah, definitely. Or let's get this going. Then you would say, great, want to get this set up for you? And then if they hesitate, you might want to deal with objections, which you already have that information. You already have the objection real-time handler there with you. Or do you have questions I can answer first? That's it. Don't overcomplicate. Ask directly if they want it. Ask directly. Do you want this? Want me to get this set up for you? That's more, people don't do that. So if they say yes, nail down the next steps. I'll send you a payment link and onboarding doc in the next hour. So get that done. The longer you wait for a yes, the more it can become a no. Just because things get in people's ways, you can't get a hold of them anymore. So get some quick actions. Set a timeline. I'll have you up and running by a certain date. Get their commitment. Does Friday work to kick this off? Like some sort of commitment. Follow up immediately. Send everything within 2 hours while they're excited, even sooner if you can. So if they're hesitant, like I'm not sure, I need to think about it. What specifically do you need to think about? Like ask the question, not like a salesperson, like just discovering. Say this helps me understand better, and then I need to talk to my team. Who else needs to see this? Happy to show them too. Right? And you want to find that out sometimes before you actually do the demo, like make sure people who are the decision makers are there if possible. And then what's the price? So state it confidently. Don't be like, well, I know it's expensive, but it's $200. No, it's $200. Given you're saving X hours at Y per hour, pays for itself in a week. So you're following up with the justification for the price, which you already have because the AI's helped you create that. We're busy right now. That's exactly why this helps. It gives you 5 hours back per week. This is really good because this objection actually turns it into a more a closing thing. Like, hey, oh, you're right. It's going to save 5 hours. Do you want to save 5 hours this week, or do you want to lose 5 hours this week? So practice this. Use prompt 7 to practice handling objections. Have AI play a hesitant prospect and practice your responses until they feel natural. So that's important. So what if nobody wants it? This is a tough one, right? So what if you think nobody wants it? If you've done 5 demos and nobody bought, this is actually good feedback. So you might not think so. You're learning fast. So diagnose the problem. Do they understand it? If they're confused, your demo is too complex. Simplify. Now, the reason that you would maybe do like a live call like we're doing that can be recorded is if you add your note taker, AI can go through those transcripts and kind of give you better advice. So always try and have a note taker that you can then get the transcript of the call so that will help you if you're not closing your product sales. Do they see the value? If they like it but won't pay, you're not showing clear return on investment, ROI. So quantify the time, money saved. Is price the issue? If they balk at price, you're either targeting wrong people or not showing enough value. Remember, it's not the price, it's the customer. Like, are you solving a big enough problem to justify the price? Do they actually have the problem? If they're like, cool, but I don't really need this, your targeting is off. So remember that. So after each no, ask this if you can. Just to help me improve, was there something specific that held you back? If you could change one thing about this to make it a yes, what would it be? Do you know anyone else who might be a better fit for this? That's important too, because maybe they're like, you probably want to sell it to this guy or this person or, this person. So their answers will tell you exactly what to fix, actually, if you can get those answers. So there's the feedback loop, which you want to get into. This is the get your AI business rolling feedback loop. Number 1, do 5 demos. Number 2, collect feedback from each, whether it's a winner or not. Get the feedback. Identify the pattern. So same objection 3 times, it's a real issue, right? So maybe they're talking about price every single time. So address maybe the value that it's bringing. Fix the one thing in your demo offer workflow. So fix that. Like if they're saying price, then address that in your demo, and AI can help. Just make sure you get a transcript of these calls. Do 5 more demos, repeat until you start closing deals. This is it. So you're getting better, you're refining, you're measuring, and that's important. This is a process. Most people quit after 2 to 3 no's. So winners iterate, winners learn. So a no is not a failure. A no is an opportunity to refine so that you can get to a yes quicker. So when you get your first yes, amazing. They said yes, now what? Like you might be like, what happened? Don't panic. Here's your exact checklist. This will help you out. So within 2 hours, you send a payment link like Stripe, PayPal, anything. Just get paid first. Always get paid first. Send a welcome email. Thanks for trusting me. Here's what happens next. You got to send that within the first 2 hours. Schedule an onboarding call. Let's get you set up. And then a date and time, depending on the service. If your service is one where they just have to log in by sign, you give them access. Maybe they don't need onboarding, but it's always good to have onboarding because you want another touch point. You want that demo call touch point, and you want the onboarding touch point, even if it's for 5 minutes, just to say hello, say thank you, and have that rapport, because that will just continue a positive experience for them. Celebrate. You just made your first dollar in your AI business. This is huge. So celebrate. And then within 24 hours, set up their specific workflow if you need to. Test it thoroughly before you show them. Make sure it's working the way you document their login info, API keys, etc. if needed. And then prepare their onboarding materials. Like it's good to have a video or documents, whatever you can give. And then here's one thing that a lot of people don't do is after they get the customer, they don't ever follow up. Like it's like one and done. But we don't want one and done. We want one and forever, like always a good relationship. So day 1 is an onboarding call, get them running. Day 3, check in, how's it going? Any issues? That's very important because you can lose a lot of customers. You get a lot of churn if you're not getting that feedback after day 3. And then day 7, ask for feedback. What would make this even better? Make it better, better, better. If they know that you're going to listen and that you do make it better, it just makes it a better product all around for your specific customer. Treat your first 3 to 5 customers like gold, like really special. So over deliver, be responsive, ask for referrals, get testimonials. These earlier customers are your rocket fuel for growth. And I would say also, in addition to this, that you treat all your customers like gold, but you're going to have to use AI and automation to make that happen. But for these first 3 to 5, it's a very high touch point, personal interaction. But you honestly want to make every customer feel like gold if you can do it. And AI lets you do that. All right, your next 48 hours. This is your moment. You have a working MVP, hopefully, or working on it. You have AI to help you. You have the exact outreach playbook. Now it's time to execute. So here's your 48-hour launch checklist. Hour 0 to 2, which could be today. AI preparation, like open ChatGPT, a new tab, run a prompt number 1 to get your 20 targets, run AI prompt number 6 to get your tracking set up. That's important. Get that done. And set up a free Calendly account for demo booking, or you can use Gmail too, or I'm sorry, you can use Google Calendar. So that's cool too. So hour 2 through 4, warm network blitz. So list of 20 people you know, not strangers. Run AI prompt number 5 for each of them, so you can generate that personalized message. Send all 20 messages, whatever you want to do, WhatsApp, texts, whatever way you can get a hold of them. And then book 2 to 3 demos for people you know, if possible. Then you're going to move to the LinkedIn outreach. Going to go to LinkedIn and search your target customer like we've outlined. For each person, run AI prompt number 2 to generate a connection message. Send 20 connection requests with the personalized notes. 12 to 15 will accept, possibly, and then 3 to 5 will respond. It's possible. So go for that. Get these done. This is a checklist for you. And then hours 6 through 8, email outreach. And this could take less or more time. Find email addresses for your 20 targets like Hunter.io or whatever might work for you that you know of or AI tells you. Run an AI prompt number 3 to generate 20 personalized cold emails. Send all 20 emails, and you want to get 2 to 4 responses requesting a demo. Ideally, that's your goal. Then your group outreach. Join the necessary groups and AI can help you find them on LinkedIn or Facebook. Run prompt number 4 to generate value first post and a couple value posts if you want. Post in 3 to 5 groups with helpful content plus a subtle offer, and AI can help you do this. You might not want to do it initially, but after a couple prompts, maybe a couple posts, you can do that. And you want to DM, you want 2 to 3 DMs from interested people when you get to that point. And then your follow-up, and in 48 hours, your follow-ups and demo prep. Follow up with anyone who responded positively. That's very important. Always follow up. Send follow-up to non-responders from day 1. Practice your demo using prompt 7 and confirm all booked demos. Always confirm. By hour 48, you should have 5 to 7 demos booked. That's ideal. Then you spend the next week running those demos and closing your first customer. And so let's go to the mental game of outreach. Let's be real. This is going to feel uncomfortable at first, right? So if you're already a salesperson, maybe this is not uncomfortable, but for most people, and this is for beginners, you might feel uncomfortable. So here's some things that you'll feel, and then I'm going to tell you the truth. So what if they think I'm annoying? I'm bothering them. They'll think my thing is terrible. I'm not good enough at this. Everyone's going to say no. This is normal. That's why there's a no in normal. Every single person who's built a business felt this. In fact, that's what makes businesses hard. Like, if this was easy, anyone could do it. So just remember, the difficult things are your steps towards success, not the easy things. So the truth, most people won't even see your message, right? They're busy. So don't worry about what if they think you're annoying. The ones who do and aren't interested, just ignore it. I'm bothering them. Well, no, unless you send them 50 emails. The ones who are interested are happy you reached out, right? What if they think it's a terrible idea or whatever? They're going to be happy if this is a problem they have. If somebody's hungry and you give them food, they're pretty happy. Nobody thinks about you as much as you think they do. And that's very important. Don't overthink it. Rejection isn't personal. They just don't have the problem right now. Because if they had the problem, they would immediately want your help. If someone's starving and you bring food, there's no rejection, right? But if they're not hungry and they don't like food, and then there might not be any rejection, or there might be all rejection. So here's how to handle rejection, right? Number 1, and this is important, expect it. If 10% say yes, that means 90% say no. That's success. I want you to remember that. Don't take it personally. They're saying no to the offer, not to you as a person, especially if you're solving a hard problem and you've done this with it's better to give than receive, right? And helping people. And then learn from it. Each no teaches you something, like, oh, the price wasn't good, and the next person, the price wasn't good, and the next person, price wasn't good. You can adjust your pricing and how you adjust how you phrase pricing, how you sell it. With AI's help, by the way. Don't make rash decisions without AI helping you and giving you some feedback. Number 4, move on fast. Don't dwell. Next prospect. Boom, go. Celebrate small wins. Every response, even a no, thanks, is progress, right? So remember, if you get a response, you're doing your job. You want a response. Let's get something back. The one mindset shift that changes everything is that you're not asking for a favor. You're offering to solve a real problem they have. So you're feeding a starving person. You're not feeding someone who's not hungry. That's the key. Remember, you're helping someone. If you're not doing something that helps them for real, then change what you're doing. Help people for real. If someone has this problem, you reaching out is helping them. You're not being annoying. You're being useful. I want you to remember that, okay? So here's some common questions. We're almost to the end, and then I'll take some questions from you all. What if I don't have any warm contacts in my target market? Well, start with the people you do know and ask for intros. Hey, do you know any blank type of customers? Your warm network knows people. Trust me, if you know 10 people, that's 100 probably, because those 10 people know 10 people. How do I find an email address? Well, Hunter.io is pretty cool, and Clearbit, there's a whole bunch. You can also do as simple as firstname@company.com. You can test it. You'll get a rejected email. It's not the best way to do it, but you could try. And then you could do LinkedIn, company website, and then contact page. A lot of times there is email on there, but not always. So just be hustling to find those. And AI can help you. What if someone asks for a free trial? This is important because a lot of people are going to be asking free. You're probably not solving a big enough problem if they're asking for a free trial. Or maybe they don't trust you, or maybe that you're not selling it well. So for your first 5 customers, like I said, offer 50% off for the first 3 months in exchange for things. So don't do completely free. Every $50 a month creates commitment. You want commitments, right? So you don't want to offer it for free. Should I build a website first? And especially if you're solving a hard problem, right? If you're solving a hard problem, people will pay for it. Should I build a website first? No. Get 5 paying customers first, then build a website. Websites don't get you customers. Conversations do. I want to say that again. Websites don't get you customers. Conversations do. How do I take payment if I don't have a company set up? There's Stripe, PayPal, Wise. You can get transferred. You can do Venmo. You can accept payment as an individual. Business entities can come later. Listen, unless you get 4,000 customers the first day, which is unlikely, but that'd be awesome if you did. You're going to be able to grow this slowly until you get to a point where you'll take the next step. And you can ask your AI co-founder that. Hey, I've got 20 customers. I'm making this much money. I live in this state or country. What should I do to make this more of a business? It's up to you. This is a good question. What if my MVP breaks during the demo? Be honest, this is new and sometimes has hiccups. Let me show you a recording of it working. Then we'll fix it later. They'll appreciate the honesty, but it's also good to have a recording of it working. So always have that as a backup for your demo. Like, I'm going to have a recording as a backup so I can play that. How many follow-ups before I give up, right? So like we said, 3 touch points. Message 1, then you wait 3 days, follow up, wait a week, follow up, done. After that, you move on, okay? So because you should be getting more contacts eventually. Can I use AI to send all, this is the one that I wanted to highlight here. Can I use AI to send all my messages automatically? Because as end-to-end people and automation people, we might be tempted to do this. And don't. You can, but don't, because mass automation gets flagged as spam. If you're human and you're interacting, there's just something special about doing that compared to automating. So don't automate this step. When you're small, don't automate the step when you reach out to your potential customer. AI helps you write them, right? But you send them personally. So that's the key. This should be personal sends from you. Don't use an automation no matter how much you're tempted. Let's scrape 1,000 emails and then we'll automate it. Don't do that, because you'll miss a lot of learning. You'll miss a lot of opportunity to talk to people and refine your problem and refine your pitch and all those things. All right, so you're ready. Now you can go. Everything you need is in this presentation. I guarantee it. So you have, hopefully you'll have or are going to have a working MVP. If you have questions, just reach out to me on AI Titus School, or however you can reach out to me is fine. You have 10 AI prompts to speed up every task, which is important. You have 5 proven free outreach channels. You have the exact 48-hour plan, and you have a demo scripts and objection handlers and your own kind of AI sales assistant, honestly. The only thing standing between you and your first customer is what? You. Action. So no more planning, no more research, no more tools. Just you sending 20 messages today. That's it. So your next step, close this presentation. If you're done with your MVP and you've kind of done some of the previous sessions, open ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity, copy AI prompt number 1, and start finding your first 20 targets, first 20 people you can help right now. All right, so that concludes the presentation today. It's got a lot packed in there. Does anybody have any questions? I don't know if we have, let's see if there's any winners on the list. Many of them had work or school and things like that today. Let me see real quick. 1 second. Yeah, no, anybody go ahead and ask a question. Just raise your hand. Yeah, go ahead. Heinrich.
Thank you, Titus. Titus, I wanted to ask, like, I understand that we don't need a business entity, but how can the customer feel secure that we are not taking their money away, like just taking the money and don't deliver?
Yes. Yeah, good.
Service?
Good question. So it really depends on your market and your customer, right? So if you have to do a business entity, you just do the minimum one that you can. But I'll tell you what, if I told you, Heinrich, that this solution costs $50 and you can try it out for 2 months and it's going to make you $10,000, and you believed it, right? Because it's the sales that you matter, and they're seeing it in action and trying it out. They might want to try it out, and try it and see how it works. Then you're going to pay it no matter what entity you use, but you're not going to pay a full year or commit to thousands of dollars, of course, unless you're going to, have more stability in that relationship. So yes, if you need to do an entity, you should, if that's going to prevent you from closing. But if it's not going to prevent you from closing, then don't do it. Does that make sense?
Yes, but like, 30% off of 500 would be, I don't know, maybe so 400 or something like that, or 350. So that is the price that we should like ask people.
You need to use your AI co-founder, because I don't know what business you're coming up with and what your target audience is. So that knowing your target audience and your offering would help provide the pricing. So I can't recommend any pricing on here because your AI co-founder is very familiar with the context of your business, the problem, the profile of the customer. So they'll have a really good idea of how to propose the pricing. And remember, pricing is, if we're talking about pricing with somebody, then the problem's not big enough. So work with AI, because it's going to help you come up with a good price. And if you're getting tons of rejections on price, you're going to learn that. So it's better to get rejections and learn than to guess. And if you're underpriced, you can always raise your price. Just don't devalue what the solution is.
All right, thank you.
Cool. Yeah, man. Jeremy, what's up, man? Go for it. You're up. Maybe you need to unmute. I don't know. I see Jeremy's hand. If we can't unmute Jeremy, then or no, is that Bushra? Maybe it is. I'm reading the name from the from the Google. So I think this is Bushra, right? Isn't it? Go ahead. Next person. I'm ready. Just speak up. Anybody else? Anybody else?
Sorry, Titus. Yeah, this is Bushra.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, I just read on the name, so yeah, no worries.
I
Go for
know
it.
that's my husband. So okay, thank you for this comprehensive, class. Question for you. I love Claude and I use that, and I've created a project for this whole thing. But one thing is really bothersome. Like when you run out of, I have a paid version.
Yes.
But each chat you have a limited wording. Then once you reach the maximum limit, Claude doesn't allow you to add more. But when you go to the other chat under the project, then the freaking thing nothing. So I now put everything in the Google Doc and take it and upload it to this, but still don't get the same, flow. What would you recommend? I love Claude over ChatGPT, but ChatGPT is where you don't run out of the limit. You just can, under one chat, you can do everything. How do you handle Claude when you come to this?
Well, there's one context window you can paste stuff in, which is good just to hold the context for that project. But also you will run into problems, especially if you have a lot of tokens, a lot of content.
Yeah.
And what I usually recommend is you have a particular conversation flow, and then when you think you might be running out of context, or when throughout periodically as you're chatting with Claude, say, listen, just in case we run out of context tokens, please provide me with a thorough document, or just give me a summary that can be pasted into another Claude, and it will be able to continue what we're talking about. For example, when I make slides, like I'll do some slides and have notes and things, and I'll put things in, and it can lose context, or so what I'll do is I'll say, here's a summary of all the slide covers, and then make sure that you kind of provide me with a full summary of what's going on here, so that if I want to talk about this slide in the future, it will have all the information it needs to talk about this particular, not slide, but presentation, let's say. So yeah, it's just ask it to create a context document or a memory document or something, and it can be short. Doesn't have to be long. Make it very concise, but good enough that AI will have a good idea to continue the conversation, knowing what it needs to know, and that will help you.
That makes sense. Another question, speaking of slides, what do you use to create slides? These are very beautiful slides.
Yeah, I just use AI. So
like you host it, AI create the whole PowerPoint for you?
Yeah.
Is it on what AI program?
I use Claude to make this presentation. Gemini's good too. And so
then how do you present it?
At the top, there's a little next and previous buttons.
Okay.
See those? So it's just JavaScript in there. It's actually making an HTML page that has all of this content in here, and it lets you navigate to the next slide. So yeah,
Oh, that's pretty cool. I could work with HTML.
it's easy. Yeah. In fact, Claude can make this for you. Could actually go to the page like session 5, just copy the HTML, in there and just put it
Okay.
into Claude and say, make my presentation look like this or work or something, whatever. It'll do that
Thank
for you.
you.
Yeah. It's
Thank you
amazing.
for that. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Heinrich, go ahead. Another question. Go for it.
Yes. So I find it very good that your method is like without paying for things, but I already have a Go high level account and a LinkedIn Sales Pro account.
Awesome.
Have do you like think that it would be a distraction, or could I leverage those accounts for the task?
Yeah. As long as they're not a distraction, like even with your AI co-founder, you could say, hey, I'm going to be using Go High Level to find or whatever to get some leads. I'm starting now, and then say I'm going to follow up with what happened, and when you do, it's going to be able to calculate when you started and when you ended and what you did, and if you got too distracted, and say, was I too distracted in this task? And it says yes, then try and get away from doing it too much. So yeah, use the best tools you have available. Definitely, but just don't get distracted. That's the key. Like set a timer or something, so I'm gonna have a beginning and an end. That's the key right there.
All right, I have a short follow-up question.
Sure.
I did unfortunately something that was a little bit too hard, like real-time sales coach AI does give salespersons like live advice.
Yeah.
I think in the future is a good thing, but right now I had the idea that I'm only like able to do something like a special GPT for my sales advice method and do that as an MVP. Although that's not the real MVP. The real MVP would be to get with N8N some records into the AI and analyze them for the salesperson to learn after the call. But I can't do it right now. So the question is, should I finish my MVP or make something like a little bit of a fake MVP, because I say, imagine customer, this will happen. AI gets from Zoom the recording, but now I just do it with GPT because I am not there yet.
Yeah, I think first, remember, we always want to use the AI as our co-founder. So if we're stuck or like this is too hard, it's too complicated, say, how could I make this an idea that I could build faster and sell, even if it's less money? So maybe you're doing this awesome idea that's worth this much, but you can only build like an idea worth this much. Or you want to get first to revenue, and then you can build it out because you want your revenue to fund the growth. So if your idea is 4 levels, and you can start making money with level 1, and AI can help you do this, then you should start with level 1. And then as that money comes in, then you can fund level 2, 3, 4. And a lot of people try and build too big of a solution and then try and sell it. And either someone beats you to the competition, it just something happens and it's not good anymore. But you can always just, if you start making money as soon as possible, even if it's simpler, then you can build on it and you can build your customer base. You'll have money to fund advertising. You have money to fund growth. But a lot of people spend all their time and money on building something without ever funding it with anything. So we want to get you to that first. So you could say to your AI co-founder who knows all about your project and say, hey, this is my problem. I don't think I'm going to be able to build this fast enough, or it's going to take more time. What's the minimum viable product that I can build right now with what I know? And it might ask me questions, and then you can answer those questions. They'll say, here, try this. What do you think about this? And then maybe you can build that, start selling that, and then you already have it in your vision what you want to grow it to, but you got to sell something now, not like 6 months from now.
All right. So a GPT is like enough to get sales. You think?
That depends on the problem you're solving. So
Okay.
like if it's just general and anyone can do it, then no. But if it has specific cool things, because custom GPTs, you can actually interact with N8N as an assistant, custom GPT, and then you probably put some PDFs in there or other things, so that would be more of a valuable tool, especially if you link it to chat and then they can chat with it. Or, don't give them the actual GPT custom, access to that, especially they have to pay for a membership anyways to OpenAI, I believe. I don't remember, but you have your own way to interact with it. And maybe your custom GPT will work with an email. So you'll take the email message, send it to your custom GPT. It'll come back with the response, and then you can move forward. And you can use custom agents too. Like there are ways to use the AI agents with n8n too. But whatever's easiest, get it done. But if the problem's not big enough, then they're not going to pay for it. So literally, people are paying for all kinds of things that are just wrappers, but the problem is a big problem. So they're paying for it. Saves them time, saves them money.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Make sure it works, and it works well, and I think you'll be good. But yeah, if you get into voice agents or way complicated things, it's going to take a lot more time, and you may not even make money. Like someone might be like, I'm going to make this awesome voice agent that helps pizza shops, and you find out no pizza shops ever want to do this thing, and you spent like weeks or months on it. So it's best to help a pizza shop maybe optimize their automation of orders or something, and then as you grow that market and that niche, you can plug in that voice agent, which you can fund with your own finances now. So think about that.
Yes, thank you.
Cool. Does anybody else have any questions before we end? All right. So, okay, one more. Heinrich, go for it.
I connected Zapier with n8n.
Okay.
And it seemed to be a good idea, but I don't know if you know from experience if this is at the end a bad idea.
Serper, you mean? Serper.dev? Is that it? What'd you connect?
Yes, Zapier.
Oh, Zapier. Zapier?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's going to be expensive eventually if you can use n8n, unless Zapier has a specific connection to an API that no one else has, then you might need to use it. There's like a school Zapier, it's only through Zapier. It's not that cool, but if you don't have to use Zapier, don't use it. Use n8n. But if you have to use Zapier, do it. Your main strategy is to get to your first customer, to solve the problem, make sure it works good, and make sure someone pays for it, and then that lets you expand out from there. So your first sale is kind of like your green light to keep moving forward with your business.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Well, that's it for today. This will be up and recorded, so you can watch it at aititus.com/100K, 100K, and it'll be up there. And awesome. Hafiz said thank you, and he got some good value. Appreciate you being here. We'll do another one, I think, coming up Saturday, so we can do another session. This will be more in-depth for those who may have want some more sales and selling your product. You'll find out it's going to be awesome. But I'm glad you were here, and thanks for being here. Keep on hustling. You're ready. All these presentations and videos should be all you need with time, perseverance, and with your AI co-founder to build an AI business. So
Thank you, Titus.
yeah, thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Thank you, Titus.
Yeah, thank you.